It's that time again. This is Renata.
And this is William.
And welcome to the new normal, exploring infinite possibilities.
And whatever the new normal isn't normal.
Seriously, let's just move this little, you're good with, your voice carries so far, William. You're good, okay.
Yeah, but don't hide your face.
No, I'm like, oh, yeah, get over there. Can you hear us now if we do that with the mic way over there? Yeah? Oh, perfect. So, last week we talked about numerology.
Yes.
And the week before we did dreams.
Yes.
So you and I kind of talked about the show the other day and thought, well, let's combine them a little bit.
Well, everything now in this era needs to be combined, because it's not that you need to make anything your career. You don't need to know everything about everything.
Yeah.
Now it's learn enough about many things so that you become more productive. To
And
yourself.
To you, yes, exactly.
I get excited.
I know, I get excited too, because we're talking about how the Universal Life Alliance, the organization, is really an umbrella for
Yes.
people that are wanting to expand and grow on this planet.
And the people that are members in the Alliance, it's not that they're better than anybody else, but they have more freedom to discover their different interests.
And we were talking too about how
Without giving it
without giving up anything.
Yes.
It's like when you start to collaborate in this new energy, everybody connects energetically. You don't have to be in the physical presence of people. So Tula provides that laser umbrella for everybody to stand underneath and collaborate underneath with each other.
Because no one is better than the other. Like, if you have a session with Renata, you're having a session with yourself.
True.
And then you're having sessions with your friends.
That's exactly it. Our webmaster, Kai, was talking to me yesterday about, how we were going to put some things together. We've got numerology, we've got dreams. We have, between the two of us, a lot of experience in the healing arts arena. And so we're not wanting to offer up like you said, you don't have to know numerology or, past life regression or aromatherapy in its entirety or massage. You don't have to know any of those. You can be interested or stimulated to be open to learn a little bit more about yourself through those different lenses.
Right. And if you're not interested in something, then you're not interested. It's okay.
Yeah. But we make the assumption that if you are still here on this planet, breathing, living, moving forward, then some of the choices that you made before are not relevant to what's happening now.
Oh, that's a good statement.
Isn't it? So they're not relevant. So we want everybody to be relevant. That's my wish for everyone. Be relevant in your life.
And again, what's relevant to you might not be relevant to your friend, your mate, whatever.
I mean, this is about all inclusion, but don't leave you out of the inclusion mix.
Perfect.
And that's something that, a lot of us do. I know I can preach into myself because I've left myself out of the mix many times.
I don't believe that there's anyone living who doesn't do that to some degree.
And all you got to do is just catch it. But what's interesting, though, about dreams, how powerful they are in terms of the tool to allow you to catch it.
Yes. And in your dreams, remember there's a difference between nighttime sleep dreaming, and there are many levels of that, and fantasy daydreams. And they're valuable also.
I like that. So people ask when you're just staring out the window, you're just waiting for a client to call or something. What are you doing? Nothing. You could be daydreaming. That's good stuff.
Well, and William, who doesn't care when people call me crazy, I just don't care. I say, I'm just in dream time. And they go, huh?
I mean, the Aboriginals.
But they'll never forget it.
The Aboriginals were totally into that dream time.
And they still are, yes, yes.
And it's interesting, this particular time now that we're living in, with the narrative of the COVID, it kind of feels like a little bit of a dream. One that I have woken up from.
And the dream currently is different for each person who dreams it.
Yes, and something that you can measure a little bit, talking about the dreams. Your dreams bring you stress, or do they bring you or comfort? You know what I mean? Can you address that a little bit, William?
No.
Okay.
Um, yes, but I don't want to make it sound simple.
Oh, yeah.
It is not a simple process. And know that what works for you today might not work for you tomorrow, dealing with your dreams or anything. I have a little story. A man that I know, a film actor, who was making a film in Australia, and they hired an Aboriginal man to co-star with him. And they had to put the filming on hold. This was years and years ago. And when it was time to start shooting again, the man never showed up. They couldn't contact him, nothing. So they hired a new character. But the day that he was supposed to be appearing, he just showed up because he had dreamt when they'd start shooting and assumed I have a contract, so I'll just show up.
So that speaks to premonition sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a word that people use. I'm curious, how many of our viewers out there have had like a premonition or a thought or a feeling about something, and then you walked into that new place and you saw that?
Absolutely.
What was your, did you honor that or did you poo-poo it? I guess that's the question. Did you honor that or did you think, oh, that's just a coincidence?
And the important thing is, she just said honor it and admit it. It doesn't take anything away from your intellect. If anything, it expands your capabilities.
And expansion of capabilities is what it's all about. It's
Absolutely.
like we're not meant to live alone or create in a vacuum. And we haven't done that ever. And even when we were cave people, we didn't create in a vacuum.
And that's why a lot of the protection of individuals from COVID is actually detrimental to the physical, mental, and spiritual health of so many people. We are not made to live alone. We need interaction.
Yes.
We need to be able to look at people and see them and touch them. We are being isolated and to protect us when actually it's making more damage.
I mean, the human biology, I'm fond of saying it crashes. It crumbles in
Yes,
on
yes.
itself
Yes,
when
yes.
you don't have connection,
Yeah.
And speaking of touching, I got to just touch your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday, George took off most of my hair and threw it away.
He did. I thought you were just growing your hair out. We're going to be like the wily wizard man.
Well, I've done that. Did you know years ago I even did a full beard?
Oh my gosh, you had a full beard?
Oh,
I bet
yeah.
that was interesting.
Weird, but I loved it.
I mean, I know you don't keep a lot of pictures of stuff, so I'm not going to ask if you have a picture of you
Of
with
course I
a beard.
don't.
See, and I'm just the opposite. I'm always taking pictures, aren't I?
Well, and I know people that could verify that for you.
Oh, yeah, no, I trust you totally. You're good.
And so, you see, I think taking a lot of pictures can be also detrimental to communication. But that's only my opinion. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't say it.
You're good. I mean, life, the thing that I discovered a few years ago, there's nothing about fairness on this planet. I'm not sure where that came from. Like,
I
it's
love
not
that
it's
statement.
not fair. Well, it's not designed to be fair, but it is designed to be equitable, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about leveling the playing field and using all the tools and all the wisdom that you have simultaneously.
And back to numerology. You can actually use numerology to make your daily life more comfortable.
Yes.
How to make a choice, how to make a new evaluation. There's so much that you can do.
Let's take just today's date. We've got 3/31/2021. So we'll just add that together. Everybody go ahead and add that together. Oh, good. And Max has got our little chart up there.
Perfect.
So we have 3 plus 31, so that's 4 and 3 is 7, right? And then the year is 2021, so that's going to always be a 5, 2, 2, and 1, all right? So you don't have to add the rest of the year up when you're figuring out the day. So the day is a 3, plus a 3 is 6, and a 1 is a 7, and a 5. That's a 12, right? Did I add right?
I don't know.
I wrote down 11 too, so I didn't know. Let me just check. So 7 and 5 is 12. Okay, so it's a 12. Okay, it's a 12 day, which means it's got that 3 energy. Reduce it down to 3. So if you're right in the middle of a project or wanting to make a new choice about something, this could be a good day. It's 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the numbers go from 1 to 9, so we're the third of the way. But if you're at the completion phase, you know you're about ready to wrap something up, make sure you finish and wrap things up before you start over again. So it can give you a loose focus in terms of your energy. So 3 day, good time for creating. So if you feel creative, start to creating. Like, that's how I use it. You got any insights with that, William?
And each of you are going to find your own way of dealing with it. If you are going to your job and it's a 3 day, you know this is a time not just for you to be creative. Give creative things to your staff, to your co-workers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a way of communicating. And you don't have to say, this is because of numerology. Just say, anybody got any new ideas on this project?
See, yeah, because people will naturally be feeling the natural flow of a 3 day,
Yes.
which came before the 2. Yeah.
And so now, with all that we're trying to share, we're saying, involve your co-workers. They're not there just to do the bookkeeping. They can have ideas how to make everything work gooder.
I mean, numerology is actually a very good counseling tool. When you mentioned just about
Oh, yes.
workflow, just in terms of workflow.
Absolutely.
What if everybody just was paying attention to the day and you good? Was that hot? It was hot, huh?
No, I was just about to make a statement, so I poured my tea down my front instead of my mouth.
Well, let's just stop and honor that one. That's a good one.
I'm glad I have a washing machine.
I know, and that's a printed shirt too. I love that. I'm glad you didn't burn yourself though.
Oh, yeah, no, I just missed my mouth.
Okay, so it's interesting now that we're all multitasking on many different parallel universes and timelines. And that's what gets to be a little bit confusing because you go to a drink here and then you're somewhere else. I mean, that is a natural
And you
occurrence.
think that I'd know after 81 years
How to drink your
where
water.
my mouth is.
Oh no! Or even in the house, sometimes you can be thinking about something, and all of a sudden you're holding, you drop it. Like, oh, oh, yeah. So there's lots of kind of interesting coincidences and synchronicities that are coming about, just designed to keep you in the present moment, because that's where our power is right now.
And it's vital that you live current time, current space, and start using your different tools. You don't have to become an expert like Renata in numerology. Just use it in little ways that work for you.
Or even, like, I'm real big on the self-study thing, so that's where I started with numerology, but I like to go deep with the subject. Some people don't like to do that.
Right.
So what's kind of cool is you can just take what works for you,
Yeah.
and then you can get rid of the rest. We give you permission to do that. You can give yourself permission to do that. Just find the things that are effective. Maybe you just want to use it for connecting with people. Ask them what their birth date is, and then you can do their life path number. Max, you can do people's life path number. You know what their birthday is. That's their life path number. Yours is a 6. So you add up your birthday. Yeah. And then that way you can have that discussion with people.
And years ago, I was doing some location scouting for a producer. And she would tell me, this is what we need. I'd go out and find, then I'd do the numbers on the address
Yes.
and say, oh, that is perfect, except it's not going to work.
Uh-huh.
And so I would isolate that way. Or you can use it in all kinds of ways.
If you're looking to pick out a name for a business.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
And you've got a particular feeling of what it is that you want to share with people. By doing the numbers on that name, you can see what the energy is of it.
And if you're making a deal with another contractor or another producer or whatever, do the numbers on that person and it'll show you. It might look good on the surface, but they're underneath, they're going to undermine you.
So, novice
Or underneath, they're going to promote you.
Yeah. Either way.
Either
way.
Other you.
So again, we just want we want to keep that umbrella free of leaks. So what we're saying is that joining the Universal Life Alliance, you have access to lots of knowledge that you can pick and choose from.
And you have access to people that normally you don't have access to.
Under one umbrella in one place.
And they all have different perspectives. Yeah.
Like for the 7.6 billion people on this planet, there's that many ways to heal squared, isn't
Oh,
there?
absolutely.
I mean, when you think about healing, people think about physical healing, but really the healing is that internal
Absolutely.
bridging that happens on the inside where your heart opens up.
And I carry it a step further in that many times it's healing of soul vibration. There are some people that need physical illness, but they just don't know how to deal with it. And the healing energy goes to helping them learn how to deal with it and how to make their life productive,
Exactly.
even though they're going to be ill.
That's exactly how that is. For instance, I'm a Reiki master, but I do Reiki for distance and for self-healing. That's the idea. It's not just to talk about the fact that I'm a Reiki master.
Yeah.
I use that energy on myself, and I can transmit it to other people, and I can show you how to do that as well.
Sure.
A lot of people can do that without having the Reiki umbrella.
And with your Reiki, do you ever work with animals?
I have my own little animal. I have.
Yeah, because a lot of the people in your industry, Reiki, don't realize they can use that energy for plants, for animals, because everything is living.
And everything is energy. Everything has an energy component.
Yep.
Every essence has
Absolutely.
energy. So it's not about the title or the form. It's what you do with what you've learned.
Underline that.
Yeah, it's what you do with what you've learned and how you integrate that to make your life better. That's the whole point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, if you can circumvent some challenge just by paying attention, I personally would be paying attention. Sure. I love what you say about when you see people be, less than in integrity. And what do you say about that? Shows you what?
What I must never do.
Yeah, that's the best lessons. We just come around, knock on your door, and you open the door and go, oh yeah, don't do that one. And so planetarily, we're all getting a big lesson right now, aren't we?
Every living thing is getting a lesson. Many are ignoring it.
Yeah, but the great thing is many are paying attention.
And that number spreads every day.
It does. It almost spreads out faster, like the ripple of the pond.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a wonderful grassroots movement to be a part of, which I feel that we're a part of this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then everybody that watches our show is a part of it.
I'm finding that more people nowadays are more willing to at least feel a little bit about what we talk about compared to when I was in grade school. That was about 1,000 years ago. More people were closed up. And so it is spreading. People are becoming more alert, more aware, more excited. And right now, it's time to use that excitement to invent, create. And if you say, I don't know how to invent, get involved with your dreams, get involved with your numerology, get involved with astrology. Doesn't mean you have to become an astrologer.
No, the knowledge is universal.
That's right.
And if you could read, or if someone can read to you, you can access that knowledge. And that's just the idea. Self-knowledge and self-mastery is one of my key tenements for being here in this lifetime.
Years ago, we did a documentary on Aboriginal sensitivity, original mind sensitivity. And it was fun to see that if you just watch an animal or animals, you're going to find every answer you need. And the producer, Pam, did a segment of showing that if you're ever lost in the woods and you can't find water and you can't find food, follow the trails of animals and they'll lead you right to the food and the water. Interesting.
Yes, but that makes so much sense, William. It really does.
Oh, sure. But we don't teach our kids that.
No, I mean, if you get sent to some explorer school,
Then they might.
or something like that, or camp. I used to go to camp every year, church camp for like a week, and it was so much fun. I don't know if they do that anymore.
There are camps, and my family sent me to a camp just so they wouldn't have to put up with me. And so I went there with such resentment, but I didn't put up with it at all.
So you didn't get value from that. Yeah.
We're all so... I can't say those words.
I mean, I'm most definitely not like a camper. I'm more of a glamper. And actually, at the end of April, we're going over to the Tri-Cities to visit my sister-in-law, George's sister. And she's got like a farm. She's got some little pigs and some chickens. Yes. And they have a fifth wheeler on their property. And so they said, well, you guys can just stay in the fifth wheeler. We rented a hotel.
Of course.
And they just left it open for us. But I've been thinking, like, well, that might be kind of fun to stay in the fifth wheeler and then open up the door and see the pigs and the chickens. I don't know though for sure. Yeah.
I had a friend a long time ago, an actress, and she would say to me, darling, camping is when I check into a hotel without room service.
I love some of you and your friends from before. I'm looking forward to talking to your friend, Sandy Goldfarb.
Oh, yeah.
I did send her an email, but it came back, so I don't think I've got the right email. So I'll just give her a buzz. We'll set up some time to talk.
Oh, good.
But I love the idea that you've just got a lot of friends that have been around in the production industry and film and promotion.
The part that's difficult to me is that many of those dear, dear friends are in the spook world now.
Yeah, they've crossed over.
Yeah.
I love how you say spook world.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's kind of another cool thing about Tula, is like membership, there's no fee for membership, which is kind of an amazing thing nowadays. But also that willingness to communicate with everything in the spirit world.
Yes.
And in the physical world. Inanimate and animate objects. See, that's like the deal. And that scares a lot of people.
Oh, sure. And that's why I use terms like spook world, because so many people think a spirit is automatically negative. But everybody becomes a spirit eventually.
Yeah, when you're no longer here.
And if you're living light and love and joy, that's what you're going to be in the spirit world.
Isn't that the case?
Yes.
That is true the case. If you're in heck right now, in this particular timeline, you'll probably be in a heck the next timeline.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because everything is a reflection of your thoughts too. That's the work for all of us.
I know a lot of people in the Christian movement who say, oh, well, I can do anything I want because all I have to do is confess it and then I will be forgiven. And I have to say, come on, just live your faith. Whatever it is, live it. 27 hours a day.
I like that you add a few more hours in there because 24 doesn't seem like it's enough, huh?
Uh-huh.
I agree with you. So it's like that choosing is important. I read something today from someone that was pretty good. May I share it with everybody? Let's see.
That cracked me up.
What?
May I share
I
with
know.
everybody? She's already opening the pages.
I know. Well, we have our little setups, our little protocols, So it says, an unhealed person can find offense in pretty much just anything or anyone that's said to them. A healed person understands that actions of others has absolutely nothing to do with them. Each day, you get to decide which one you'll be. Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
And that was on one of my new friends' little Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
That was very cool, and she's native. I liked it. Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in a conversation with a friend last night, and she stressed, "Are you ever going to use your web page, your Facebook page?" She said, "I've got messages, I've talked about you on there. Do you ever even look at it?" And I said, "No."
Yeah. I mean, we've got the Alliance one, we have the, the .org now, and the web page, and then we have the Awesome Awakening. So it's kind of a lot.
I check the total page, but I don't do anything with Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It does serve a purpose, but it's not the only purpose.
And I told her, "Hey, honey, you can do it all you want. Don't expect me to do it."
Yeah. I've got several friends that are in my age
She's not going to
group,
do things that we do.
Yeah. It's not, it is. It's a non-issue.
Yeah.
It's a non-issue. So many things are a non-issue nowadays.
But we make them an issue.
We make them an issue. And sometimes, again, getting back to the ability to alter your perception with the reality of your dreams can allow you to kind of maybe step out of, I'll say, that victim mode, because a lot of us find we find ourselves there. And if you've got a sequence of, symbols that keep appearing in your dreams, or colors, numbers, thought processes, sometimes that repetition will, tap you on the shoulder enough to make you pay attention.
Exactly. And all of the things you gain from your night dreams and your daydreams can, in fact, affect your future.
Totally. Even the daydream of going around and singing to yourself. If you're mindlessly humming a tune that sounds something like jab you, and drown your head, I would stop, and I'd listen to those words again, and then I'd change the words. I actually make up words to songs or little ditties that I chant to myself, because that's a powerful daydream or day visualization.
And in the daydreams, I like to pursue something I want.
Yes.
But then as I'm creating that daydream, I also then like to play and shift it so that it gives me different perspectives of what might happen.
This is a key thing you said, different perspective. And so you tie that perspective to your feeling. That's how you know it's a different perspective. Again, that's why it's so important to honor all your senses. The feeling, the seeing, the sensing, the intuitive, the unseen. Yes, because if you can't connect the feeling with it, then you can't be with it. It's the stuff.
And so any of you, male or female, you're an executive in a company, and you think all of those people out in the outer office, they're just employees. They're an intricate part of who you are. And if you pay attention to them, if you respect them, if you acknowledge them, even by saying, "Oh, you look great today," they're going to be more productive, and it'll be more productive for you to manage it.
And especially if some of your younger people, you say, "Ooh, I want to go to that party you went to. Let me know next time."
Yes.
You need some rest.
Yeah.
As often as I can make a lighter story, because I can get kind of heavy about a lot of stuff,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like I am laughing. When I can turn something around, and maybe you find it this way too for yourself, that when you can turn something around and laugh at yourself, how powerful that is.
I believe that laughter is the greatest healer. I visited a man, husband of a lady from Tula, in a hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. And he was in such agony. And I was telling him jokes, and the the people there visiting him said, "Oh no, he's too sick to enjoy your humor. Stop it." So I told a joke that I knew he would get, and none of them would.
Yeah.
And he started to laugh. And they said, "You're making him sicker." And a nurse came in and said, "His chart, you know that automated chart thing? He's relaxed more than I've ever seen."
Mm-hmm.
The laughter.
The science proves for sure that people, when they're in a coma,
Oh yeah.
they're just not on this dimension, but they still can hear things that are happening.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
the
spent,
truth.
3 months in coma.
Yeah, and you talk about
And
that.
oh yeah, it was actually it was exciting. And I was getting a kick out of watching all those people think, "Do you think he'll come back?" And I would just laugh, and they'd say, "Look at that, he's laughing. What's he laughing about?"
When they
I
talk
was laughing at them.
when they talk about presence of mind, really they're saying mind is a present, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Owning all of that
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
present. It's a present to you and to other people.
No matter what you experience in your life, you can use your dreams, you can use your numerology, whatever, to make it better or worse. The thing is, learn to laugh at yourself, learn to laugh with other people, and often when I can feel that people are going to criticize me, I tell a joke about myself.
Doesn't that take the pressure off? Isn't that cool?
And so I'm laughing at myself, suddenly they shift.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use all of your spiritual insights,
And tools.
tools,
Yeah.
to make your life more tolerable. It doesn't mean you're going to avoid any conflict. Hey, that's part of living. But you can be in control to a degree that instead of getting depressed and suicidal, you'll say, whatever.
Or you'll believe that little thought that runs across your head that says, "This too shall pass, just chill out."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that, when you believe your own internal advice, your own internal advisor?
So at night, I always tell people in my workshops, trainings, whatever, every night, bless and release the day. You can't change it. You might look at it and say, "I wish I had done different," and suddenly you're off on attracting a negative dream. So just get rid of the day. If you could have done anything different, you would have. So be quiet about it and let your dreams and let your numerology and let your life attitude, spiritual attitude, whatever, shine the light to create a wondrous tomorrow. And it's wondrous even if it's a kick in the back.
Even if it's a poo-poo day.
Yeah.
And there is something about being willing to rise up again
Rise up.
each day and then be you. There's
Yep.
a magical gift in that, but we've been taught for so long to not do that. And now it's a different story.
What Renata and I are talking about is, if you're having a bad day, it's your opportunity to practice what you claim to believe.
Mm-hmm. Change that around. And sometimes you just have to go,
Yep.
I'm tired, I'm in a funky mood, I'm good, I'm just going to
Oh,
go.
and then I just go back to bed.
Yeah, if you're able to do that. But sometimes just getting out of your head,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of you know that. Go pet your pet or go talk to the fish or go outside and just give yourself a moment.
I live next to a park. And when I'm really feeling confused or whatever, not positive, I go down to the park and play with the dogs and chase the squirrels. Even in my semi-invalid way, I still chase the squirrels.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I love it.
I always call you handy capable.
I love that term.
You may have the crutches there, but whatever, handy capable. You're highly capable.
Sure.
And you're handy at being capable.
And that's what all of you are, no matter what happens in your life. Even if you're paralyzed from the neck down, there's something you can do to be productive. You can work on the telephone. You can visit with people on the telephone. There's so much that you can do. There's nothing that you can't do.
Unless you tell yourself that
can't.
you can't.
Yep.
I mean, what is that, the little train, that little choo-choo? I can, I think I can. I mean, that's
I
like
know
from,
I
first,
can.
that's from like first grade or
Yeah,
kindergarten.
yeah.
But that's a cute little one. It's a cute little story,
Yep.
but it's a real story. Your thoughts are things, and part of the discipline required now is to remember that and to be that and stop tracking yourself so much with all of that doubt.
Absolutely.
I mean, allow yourself to create newness. And where does that newness come from? It comes from the old stuff, your doubt included. But just don't focus on your doubt.
Yep.
Do it in spite of your doubt. Do it because you can. That's what the umbrella of Tula is about. An inspirational shot in the arm to encourage you to keep moving forward.
Because nothing is accomplished if you dwell on living in the past. It's like putting barriers around your heart.
Big barriers. And then putting it inside of a little cement container.
Yes.
With a little metal thing on the outside of it. And then let's bury it in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and a lot of us, unfortunately, find ourselves in the depths of that kind of despair.
Oh, good.
With so much of societal pressures put upon us to achieve, to be better than, to be a different color than. You know what I'm saying? All of those separatist sort of energies, they can wear a human being down. And in fact, they have.
Oh, yes.
And in fact, they have. So the first key is to surround yourself with love and light and peace.
But if you say, I can't surround myself with light and love, if that's your problem, then know that you love suffering.
Oh, and you know, when I work with people, I mean, I know you do too, it's like, don't be trying to call me and complain to me because you're not paying me enough to take on your burdens. But I can point out to you in an intuitive way where I kind of instinctively see where you're kind of stuck. And you can either be with that or not.
And if you want to be limited, that's your choice.
It really is. We're saying
And
that.
don't leave it on me. I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
I mean, and you start to think about that. I mean, and I do. That's why I'm saying that. You know, when I have little disagreements with my husband and I find myself getting that little gnarly place where I don't want to let something go, I immediately, another person comes and takes over and it's like, Renata, okay, what's that about? What part of you is not happy, satisfied? You think George is supposed to be doing something different, be different? What's going on? That's what comes up for me immediately. And then it's like, well, he didn't respond the way I thought. Or like, okay, so what?
Oh, we all get caught in that one.
Don't we?
Oh,
And it's like,
yes,
you have to go, okay, then give it to yourself. You be the pioneer in your own life. You be that one energy. You go out and initiate.
Yes.
You know, if you're not feeling really warm and fuzzy, then go find somebody to be warm and fuzzy with. You know, someone you can call and talk to that you feel like you're unified in your thoughts. And if you're not feeling creative, then go start some creative project. It's all on you. You don't have to have a partner. You're your partner.
I have said for many, many years, if you're going to find love with another person, you first have to love yourself.
Oh, I love my favorite little show. It's not on very much anymore, but RuPaul Drag Race. It's like, how
Oh,
the heck you gonna
yes.
love anybody else if you don't love yourself?
Yep. And love yourself with your idiosyncrasies.
Yes, love the good, bad, ugly, and all in between. No.
Yes. My mother, when I was a baby, or at least a youngster, she would
They called them babies
introduce
back
me
then?
as, and this is my son William. He's full of idiosyncrasies.
Have fun making up your own words about
Yes.
stuff. And just claim that, you know? Claim that you're like, yeah, I'm a little bit that way sometimes. I know. You know. And I give my friends, my good friends, my close friends, permission to point out to me when I've like strayed too far from my own center and that is too intense. You know?
And I recently got caught in that web of straying from who and what I believe. And a very dear friend pointed it out. And I could easily have rebelled against that individual.
I know.
And I didn't.
Well, but that's the thing about friendship. It's like you don't want to hit people over the head, but once you give them permission, once you allow them in, and you're intimate, like, you know, heart to heart.
Yes.
That's a real courageous level of connection. And I get a lot of people aren't there. It's okay. But wherever you're at with your personal, intimate relationships with people, friendships, choose wisely. Choose wisely, because you may follow somebody's energy or advice that is, you know, out of alignment with your soul and where you want to go in your life.
Well, I know people that have criticized things I do or say, but I love their personal energy.
Yeah.
And so I say, that's their opinion. It doesn't take anything away from the fact that I love them.
Likewise.
So use that, because, you know, no one is going to totally agree with you unless you've got them so whipped down that they don't have the guts to stand up for themselves.
Ooh. Whoa, I got chills with that one. Because there is, I mean, there is that parental authority that can kind of do that, and so kids kind of kowtow to, you know, their authority figure, which is their parents for a lot of their life, you know. If you're fortunate to have two parents, that doesn't always happen. But whoever raised you, you defer to their authority. And at some point, them and you have to come to a new understanding, and that questioning sometimes is where that new understanding starts to grow. But don't look at it as a personal affront. I remember, this is interesting, when I was 18, my mom and I standing at the refrigerator, and I just was grown, and she said something to me, and then I said, well, act like it, and then I slapped my mom. Woo! And then we just stood there for, it felt like an hour, but it was like 5 seconds or, you know, 10 seconds. But it was like, I stepped over a line. In my head, I knew I stepped over a line. She knew I stepped over a line, but we were like, and we just turned around and went our separate ways. We never talked about that again. But then my mom was my mom in many, I was her mom in many lifetimes. And that was an interesting turnaround when I got that information. And this is a change of subject, but I didn't know that you did like intense past life regression. Not past life regression, but past life reports for people.
Yeah.
That I just found that out the other day. I'm like, I'm like,
her hand went up so fast.
When do I get to do that with you? I didn't know you even did that. Anyhow, but that's some of your Japan work. I get it.
You know, and the Japanese people, like most of Asia, are firmly committed to reincarnation. And so they're much more open to it. They're much more aware of balance, karma. I'm not saying that they're better than us. I'm saying that in that topic they are more aware. And I'm working with one man right now in Tokyo, highly educated, very successful, owns his own company, but he had a few issues that he was not able to be his own therapist to. So I've been working with him, and I've completed it, so now I'm just writing a full report, it's a few pages long, of the things that created the need for the current life.
Yeah, and that's I find that just a really valuable tool to get a more than just a peek at some of the motivations that cause you, this is important, that cause you to manifest, because you did manifest those things into your life to get that soul growth and learning.
Sure.
Which means you come from a place of power. I think that in and of itself, there's that communication that is so valuable.
There was a lady in New York And I did something like that with her years ago. And I mentioned a specific series of experiences in another life. And she had denied the people of that country. She was so prejudicial against them. And then when she got that, it gave her a new perspective.
It's almost like a bell goes off, like ding,
Yeah.
ding, like new perspective. It's a big deal.
So it wasn't that she hated the people from that country, she hated what had happened to her when she was living in that country.
So they say the issue is in the tissue.
Oh, hey, that's a good.
It's a fun one. And so, wow, coming to the back door and giving people
Yes.
some of those potential intentions, they can use that. And I understand it's a rather lengthy report and rather expensive. They can use it or not use it.
Exactly.
And that's the way all the information is. There's you can just be overwhelmed trying to collect information.
Oh, yes.
But some of it is relevant to your mastery in this lifetime, and some of
And
it is not.
When you collect a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, that doesn't heal anything. It's what you do with it.
It's what you do. It's the action steps.
Perfect.
Well, that's a good one.
Yes.
You just go
yes,
home.
Yes.
Although I noticed something interesting in terms of things changing and shifting and thinking about gardening. Million Garden Movement. So it's a community of gardeners who want to inspire a happier and healthier world by educating and supporting millions of gardeners to grow their own food. I posted it on our page. You can go
Good.
look at it. And it's Elon Musk brother is doing that with Harrison Ford is one of the people that's visually doing that. But I understand he's been into that for a long time. So
Long.
I love this. People are coming together and getting creative, and I'm excited about our connection with Sandy, going to visit her because she's got that garden and the pigs and all that. Somehow this all comes together. I don't know how it does, but I just feel it,
Sandy lives in an apartment.
Oh, but my sister,
Oh, see-
we got two Sandy Goldfarb, and then my Sandy, my sister-in-law, she lives in the Tri-Cities, so it's okay, you're good. We mixed them up because we're talking Sandy. Yeah. That S energy too.
Yes.
That S energy is like that serpent kind of energy, that mystery energy. Anybody that's got an S as a first in their name, S. Yeah, you get the snake one, but then shedding the skin from the snake, you get that wisdom and you get that new birth. S is tricky to say when you try to say it as an F too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the important thing today is that you remember there's nothing that you can't accomplish. And all that we're sharing with you are tools that might, if you're willing, make your life more productive. And if you're not interested in anything we've talked about, it's okay.
It totally is okay. You don't have to do any numerology, astrology, reflexology,
That's right.
massage. You don't have to call it any of that.
The important thing is get to accept that your current life is exactly what you needed, or you wouldn't be having it.
That is such a real and honest approach to why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Not having to try to figure out why you're here.
It's not, if you could figure it out, you wouldn't need anyone to tell you what your past lives were.
I know. So that's why we have this platform now of it's not about the tool. Actually, you are the tool. Don't forget that.
Perfect.
You are the magic wand in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're the kaleidoscope in your life.
Yep.
But sometimes opening up to hearing that wisdom takes it's a journey. That's all.
And you don't have to pack a bag.
No,
You don't have to
pack a bag.
carry snacks.
No snacks. Darn it. Can we take water?
There's plenty in the universe.
Okay. So just come as you are is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Come
You
as you
don't-
are.
There's a TV show that I think is good, but I also think it's not
Which one? Which one?
Naked and Afraid.
Oh, is that one of those virtual, live shows, Naked and Afraid? They drop them off an island or something?
Yeah. And they take a man, a woman, or two couples, or sometimes two men, sometimes two women, and take all their clothes, and they can bring one tool, like a knife, an axe, and they have to spend 21 days with no contact with human beings.
I wonder what the back end contract is on that one. I'd love to read that because it's a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
If you were producing that show, what kind of agreements would you make with people about that?
Oh,
I mean, have you thought? I mean, that's
do you have in about 3 hours?
maybe next time we'll talk about that because you do have that experience. Fast forward a bunch of years forward, and this is before you're producing these kind of shows now. What would you want people to do? This is interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. And I've watched the show a few times because it can be like the man so powerful, and suddenly he falls apart and the woman takes over. Or vice versa. It's fun to see everything is changeable.
The dynamics is what we're talking about.
Mhm.
That is, it's not a static thing.
Yep.
It's just you. You bring something into the mix. It's that, and then it's this. Yeah. So we're always building up or tearing down. It's always our choice.
Always, always, always. So again, love yourself, love your neighbor. Doesn't mean you have to like them, but love their right to be there.
So we've talked about our acronym of love before. Living only valuable experiences.
Yes.
That can be everything in your life. Learning what to do, what not to do.
I love some very negative people, but I don't invite them into my home.
And that's an interesting thought process to trickle down into your family of origin and your immediate family too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no right of entitlement to liking
That's
personality. Because we're talking about personality.
Exactly.
But everybody's right to be is everybody's right to be, and sometimes, I'm pretty biased about how I believe about something.
And like you said a few moments ago, if I don't like someone, they're reminding me of what I must never do.
Mm-hmm. But it's true. It is sometimes a challenge to let that go, huh?
Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh. And that's what's so cool about we can start over in each moment, with each breath. You can just
If you
stop.
live in the moment, if you live current time, current space.
Yeah. You can just stop it and go, oh, there I go again.
Yep.
Reel it back in for a little bit. Take a couple breaths, take a break, whatever you're doing.
Yep.
And then you have newness. You have a revived energy. That's our power now.
And that's your power, gang.
So use that. Own that. Be that.
Male, female, doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
What color of skin doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
What matters is that you love everyone's right to be exactly who and what they are. If you don't like it, don't hang with it.
And don't let your thoughts hang around with it either.
Yeah.
Like, don't be joining in on Facebook stories or news stories
That's right.
of any kind that are not in alignment with where your heart is at.
That's all a
Don't
bunch
even
of BS.
speak. Don't even speak it.
That's right. Don't even think it.
Don't even think it. We're serious. We are as serious as life is right now about that, because that is our seed of power.
And so tomorrow is a new day. No matter how busy you planned tomorrow, recognize it's probably going to change. And tell yourself, no matter what comes, it's coming because I deserve to create it in a better way.
Yes. I'm feeling like we could give people a little bit of a homework.
Okay, go for it.
doing the dreams and the numbers. We suggested when you did your dream workshop to get a dream journal, like a book,
Yep.
and start writing down. I'm just curious if anybody did that. If you haven't done that and you're interested still in like the dream idea, then go at least get a booklet or some paper and put it somewhere where you have access and a pen close by.
I still keep a dreams journal.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And then let's start adding up the day, if that makes sense to you.
And I also include a separate journal for daydreams.
So he's got two. You know, the store I love the most is the dollar store. The dollar store in by our house is just wonderful.
And the dollar store by my house is terrible.
Yeah, see, we're really good, so we didn't mention either one of them. But so, you know, over by my house, it's a really great one. They've got these great journals.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know. You like it too, huh?
I do.
Well, I'm going to say Maria just does a great job of running that dollar store. It's taken a while to get a manager that really holds her people in that. But I love that dollar store. It is the best. There you go.
And there are some people, and we heard one of them right in front storming out saying, I'll never go back into that crap again. So, everyone's
Yeah,
different
I mean,
opinion.
it is. But, you know, since we can say, I'm saying. There you go. How's our time doing? We're probably done,
We're
huh?
overtime.
I know. You gotta keep, just gotta
I've been,
reel
trying
us
to
in.
I've been trying to close for the last 4 minutes.
I know, and I'm just blah, 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 blah. Okay, what did we didn't do though, we didn't hug. I mean, we did earlier, but we gotta hug again. Everybody hug.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Auf Wiedersehen.
Take care.